Hey there, my name is Angela Raspass, and I'm a strategist and coach for women who own businesses. And I ground all of my work in the principles of self-leadership. Now, today I want to share with you a self-leadership snippet, which is all about building strong business boundaries. Now, I just held one of my weekly self-leadership sessions where we looked at this concept quite deeply. And a lot of the interesting information that came up is what this snippet is now going to be all about. Now, we start by asking yourself, are you a boundaries pro, or are you a bit of a, whoa, I'm not quite sure how to put those into place? The thing to understand is that there are 4 different areas in which it's essential for you to do some auditing and to see if you have boundaries in place, if they need adjusting, or if they actually need to be introduced, full stop. Now, those areas are personal, professional, time-based, and values-based. Now, how do you work out if you need to get a boundary, if there is a gap, if something is missing? Well, there's 4 key areas that we looked at this morning, which gives you some pretty good indications that something's up and a change is needed. So those 4 are starting with the feeling of overwhelm. Do you feel like you are swamped and things just aren't working well for you in your business? That's a definite sign. Sign number 2 is a feeling of frustration and resentment, that something is out of line here. That's a good indication that a boundary is needed. Another one is the concept of overextending yourself, looking at the clock and realizing, again, you've missed your lunch, or it is way past when you said you were going to pause for the evening. And the 4th one is you're neglecting your self-care. You're not giving yourself the movement, the nutrition, the free time, the time in nature, the things that give you vitality. With vitality is at the heart of the self-leadership framework. It doesn't matter how much talent, skill, strengths, opportunity you have. If you don't have the vitality to take advantage and leverage those, all of your goals are really out the window. So neglecting self-care may sound fluffy in some ways, but it has absolute repercussions on your capacity to operate well within your business. So just an example for each that we discussed today. With the personal as one of the boundary areas, this could be if you're someone who works from a home office, of putting really clear delineations between this is my workspace, this is my home space, and the 2 do not cross over. A home office working situation often makes it far too easy to step out and do the washing or do the other things that are not a part of your working day, or wouldn't be if you were commuting to an office. So you might need a boundary there. In terms of professional boundaries, one of the most common ones that we discussed is scope of work. One of the ways in which we eradicate and erode our bottom line profitability is by scope creep. So if we've agreed to this, but we end up doing that with no alteration to our invoicing, then that is going to have that negative impact on your profitability. So perhaps there's a boundary needed around what scope of work looks like and what going over that also has in terms of a repercussion. Looking at time, the simple one here is take a lunch break. Go forward, put it into your calendar and treat it like any other appointment, because boundaries with yourself are just as important as the boundaries that you extend to the world. That one came up with lots of the women on the call in terms of, I just don't take breaks the way I would if I was in traditional employment. So please have a look at that as a boundary. And in terms of your values, an example that came up was someone who has a business in the fashion industry and has made the decision that from now on, the only suppliers that they will deal with are ones who have sustainable, environmentally friendly practices. If you can't tick that box, you're not a part of my business. And that's a great example of a values-based boundary. So we went through a 4-step process to be able to change this. The first step is to discern where are the boundaries needed. The next step is to design what will your boundary look like. The next step is to declare, making sure that the people who need to know are aware of this boundary. And the last step is to defend it, to stand strong when it's challenged, because you've already discerned that this is important to you and why. So within this, we had a list of 2 great Resources, lost the word for a moment. One, a general list of boundaries to consider. And then the second one, a specific list of professional ones for you as a business owner. If you would like a copy of either of those, please send me a message below this video and I'd be happy to get one out to you. And in the meantime, the self-leadership sessions, there's 2 remaining as of today. I think it's the 17th of October. You can register on the page and still be given access to all of the previous recordings, or you can join us for the next 2 live sessions. So I hope you found this self-leadership snippet handy, and I would love to hear how you take action on discerning and developing those new boundaries for you within your business. Until we talk again, take very good care. I'm Angela Raspass. Have a great afternoon.